the reason why you're journaling wrong is because you're not looking for solutions. This is something that I've definitely been guilty of before, and I'm not saying that you can't just write out all your problems in your journal. It's definitely a great self-improvement habit that has helped me work through some issues in my own life and helped me identify some weak points or shortcomings that I've gone on to improve and develop for myself. But I think the real benefit that journaling can produce is the ability to not only clarify your introspection and put it down on paper, but also to probe your mind for creative solutions. So I do think that journaling is great for like just venting about, like ranting about all your problems and whatever is going on in life. If you don't have anybody really to talk to complain to like that, you can kind of just like write it all down in your journal and get all that negative energy out. But the real value, and I think the next step in journaling after just writing out all your problems, is to reflect and then look for solutions. There's been like all too often where I'll just be opening up my journal, I'll just write about my day, whatever went well, what went wrong, and then I'll just end it right there. That's kind of like cutting it a little bit short. And more recently, I've gotten more into the habit of whenever I write down about like complaining about whatever's going wrong in my life, I then try to go the step further and say, okay, I've laid out the problem, but what's the solution? And asking this question really allows me to dig a little bit deeper into, maybe what are the root causes of this issue and how can I work to fix it, basically. Unless you see these things as like outside of your control, like, sometimes, I don't know, a meteor crashed into your house. You can't really do anything about that. But when you're talking about and journaling and writing down things that are happening in your own life that you have some sort of influence or control over, which I think are the majority of things that we will write down in our journals and talk about, I think that your brain is more capable than you think in coming up with solutions. So identifying the problem is half the battle, and once you vent and rant about whatever problems are happening in your life, then you're already halfway there. All you have to do is think about the solution and how to solve it. And taking the thoughts outside of your brain can be super helpful, especially for myself. When I think of a problem and then I have all these different potential solutions going on in my head, I don't have the full capability to go through every single situation and the outcome right there in my own mind. So putting it on paper and getting it out of my head allows me to fully flesh out the ideas and the solutions that I'm thinking of, or the potential solutions that I'm thinking of. So it kind of leads to a more well thought out plan. And it even gives you a plan of action when, instead of just like when you just like vent and rant about your day or about your problems, then you're kind of just left with the same thing all over again, and you don't have a clear plan of action or a clear path to take in order to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So that's why I think journaling for solutions is the next step above just journaling about your day, journaling about what you're grateful for. The next step above the initial part of journaling about your day or your problems is to look for solutions. So I think that kind of wraps up my thinking for this video. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember to stay on target.